guys. All right, let's fire away, get it done, and get you guys home. You've had a busy weekend.
Their coach said that they kind of anticipated that you guys would play harder in the second half. He said maybe flippantly, he says, Tommy probably got into him at halftime, made him play better defensively. Did that happen, and how did you do it?
Nothing crazy. I mean, obviously we have a standard that probably wasn't met in the first half, and UTA probably gets some credit for that, and and our guys probably get a little bit of blame, and the coaches are involved in that too, and I just think the lesson is that success and winning doesn't come easy, and it always has to be based with effort. And you layer it with intelligence and passion and unselfishness, and now you got something. But if you don't put all those things together, you're gonna come up a little bit short. And so I was kind of happy how we responded in the first half because it wasn't coming easy. And that you don't start games up 30-0. So there's always that kind of back and forth, that fight early in a game. They took a little bit of a lead. We made a run, and then I was kind of disappointed at some of our shot selection, just with a couple. And we're a program. We play with great freedom, but, we also play with intelligence and unselfishness. So, we address that, and I think those are great lessons for us to learn. And then we kind of obviously fixed it a little bit, and we got on a little bit of roll there in the second half.
Similar to the other night against Belmont, the way this game, especially early, they're hitting a lot of threes. You're maybe,
maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I would have to say I don't know. I think that Belmont, I felt like we were a little more locked in. And maybe some of the threes they were making were from guys that weren't necessarily 3-point shooters. Maybe it was maybe a little bit of a scout-based deal. This one was, we just our effort wasn't there on loose balls and some rebounding things early, and just some of the the situations where we wanted to take advantage and pressure them, and that's what happens. So yeah, but it's great to learn that stuff. Like, listen, you have to be a little bit of a realist as a coach, even though you're a big dreamer. That every half of basketball ain't going to be perfect, and you have to respond and learn, and make some adjustments. And a lot of times those adjustments are just mentality and effort, and I thought our guys did that.
Umar said that you guys have 8 starters. Is that kind of how you look at it in terms of the rotation, that you'd be comfortable with any of them out there?
For sure, I am comfortable with any of them. Like a guy like KJ, I mean, he just really impacts the game. Like it's even like loose balls. Like KJ's, it's 75-25. He getting them. I always joke in practice, like, who's going to get a loose ball besides KJ? Because he gets all of them, and he does it in games. And then those are run starters. Those start runs and create easy transition offensive opportunities. So I'm really happy with him. JB, I thought, played, obviously his best statistical game today. He's been rock solid for the most part, but just he's a really good player, and I want him to kind of find his way in his program. And for a guy to become authentically good, which he will be and he is, you can't script it. It's got to kind of come within the system, within the flow of the game. And I thought he found his opportunities today and really took advantage of him, and it was great. And, Kylan, I thought, had a little bit of a breakthrough just with some of his post-entry passes, obviously that's an important, part of our system is, those early post-ups in transition, and just his ability to see him and find them, and sometimes, some of these young players, they kind of struggle to see through the bodies when there's a lot of bodies on court, and there's bodies in front of you and this and that, and but down, maybe inside there's a big advantage. Can you see through the trees a little bit? So I thought he had a little bit of a breakthrough with that today, which is exciting for me.
Is this the most balanced team you've had since you started here?
Yeah, it's only my third team I've had since I've been here, and that first team was, really good, had 8 players, and you had an explosive guy like Ben. So we had we weren't quite as deep. So, guys maybe got more opportunity and more shots, and Zoo was right there. And then last year's team, we ended up kind of slicing a little thinner and only playing 7 guys for the most part. So, I think the depth gives us the most balance for sure.
What do you take from this 3-game homestand into Palm Springs?
And we're fired up. We get an opportunity to go play one of the great programs in college basketball. Coach Izzo, someone I really look up to. They're a program that's built on grit and fight, and I'm expecting a knockdown drag out. You know, I mean, they might have lost a couple games. You know, I mean, obviously this James Madison team sounds like they're kind of like one of the talks of the mid-majors in college basketball. I haven't watched the game yet, but I heard they're really good. And then, you know, they lost a tough one to Duke, you know, in the Champions Classic. So, you know, they're going to take this as an opportunity to come play another national caliber program. And I know they're going to take a big swing, and we're going to do the same. So I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I think it's a great opportunity for us to continue to build and you know, try to have a successful season.
Was this like a third-party kind of arrangement game, or did you and Coach Izzo work this out?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Izzo and I mean, you know, I've known him for years, and he's been really good to me. You know, I mean, it was put together by other people, but I think there was a mutual respect there, and you know, I've bugged him a little bit here and there to see if we could schedule like a, you know, a home and home type thing or something like that, and you know, it just hasn't happened yet, but we're grateful for this opportunity for sure.
The run that you had that ended the first half and then started into the second half, the fans always stand up until the opponent scores the first time, and they didn't until the TV timeout. Considering what you had said on Friday about the energy and all that, how did you feel?
It felt good. You know, I told our guys, hey, I don't know what to expect Sunday afternoon. I don't know if people are going to be sleepy after lunch in church, you know, or they're going to come out, you know, breathing fire. But we need to be the spark. Our effort and energy need to be the spark for the crowd. We don't need to wait for the crowd to get us going. So I think there was a good kind of back and forth with some of our guys, making some energy and effort plays, and then the crowd responding and building a little bit of momentum for us.
I mean, how do you feel about, in general, where the team is at going into this one versus when you went into Duke? In other words, did these last 3 home games allow you to?
I mean, you know, I pretty much slice it game to game. So I feel like we're, you know, right where we should be. And we're going to play a great program. And I know it's going to be a really hard game. I mean, it's going to present a lot of challenges. So, you know, I'm excited for that. If we win, it'll be awesome. If we lose, we'll be all right. And you know, it's a long season, and whatever happens that game, we're going to try to obviously go play our best, and hopefully we do play well. But if we don't, we're going to learn from it. So I'm just excited for that opportunity.
Do you feel, at least with the rotation, do you feel any more comfortable with what you've got, or you know, it seems like a
well.
8, 10, or, you know,
I mean, listen, yeah, it'll vary. I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm comfortable. Listen, Conrad, you know, kind of there as the 11th guy. He's a good player. I mean, I'm comfortable with all those guys in some form or fashion. I think where I'm most comfortable is we have live reps now. So, you know, we have finally get a little bit of a break. You know, our schedule's been a little kind of jagged a little bit. Now we get a little bit of 3 days to kind of obviously prepare for Michigan State, but then, you know, kind of clean up some of our stuff and maybe add some of our next layers to what we want to do. So I feel good now that we have real live bullets to teach from and for the players to learn from.
Anything else? All right. Thanks.
All right. See you guys.